Hey guys, what's going on? This is John Fears. Welcome back to Fearsman26. I got a very special video coming your guys' way. The fans have been asking, they've been pleading for a Q&A. So Fears has finally decided to do a Q&A. I went to Twitter, I went to my YouTube fans, and I asked them, give me some of those burning questions, and Fears, right now, is going to answer those questions. If you guys like this video, I'll do more of these videos. If this video is a complete failure, then we'll never do it again. So let me know in the comments if you like this Q&A and if we should do more of them. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. Alrighty. I'm going to pull the questions up right now. And we're going to answer some of those burning questions that the fans have been wanting to know for a while. Okay, so here we go. The first question is from Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. He says, favorite vacation spot? Well, Matthew, I've got two. My mom is from England, so anytime I get a chance to go over and see the British family in England, that's always a must. So that's vacation spot number one. Vacation spot number two, I have went to Florida like 15, 16 times in my life. So Florida would be number two. I can't get enough of Florida, and I can't get enough of England. Moving on. This question is from Jesse Hockey. And I don't know if this is a girl or a guy. It just says Jesse Hockey. But this person says, where is Michael? I don't know. He's your friend. So you should know where the hell your friend is. So get off your ass and find Michael. Because I don't know where the hell he is. Anyway. This next question is from Dustin Miller. And he says, favorite things to film? Well, Dustin, it depends on what channel I'm filming it for. If it's for Fears Vlogs, I like to film a vlog more than a stream. Sometimes whenever you're streaming, it gets really stressful because sometimes people leak those links. Don't we all know about that, guys? And trolls come in and they kind of throw the show, off track, and so then Fears has to collect himself. Plus, doing a live show is always more stressful because it's live. Anything can happen live. Like when you're recording it right now, if I mess up, I can always just stop and re-record it. So, it depends. But I would say on the vlog channel, I love to do adventure vlogs the most on the vlog channel. If it's for Fearsman26, hands down, I love doing convention interviews. Particularly celebrity convention interviews. I love meeting celebrities. You would think I would get nervous, but I've met so many celebrities and had the honor and pleasure of interviewing so many that it just keeps getting easier and easier every time I do it. So I'd say those are my favorite. And then probably my second favorite is cartoon voice acting for either my cartoon or my buddy Randy's cartoon. That's my second favorite. Probably my third favorite is short films. So anyway, let's continue on. This next question is from one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, the Sega Camp Gamer, and he says, what does the Sega Camp Gamer eat? Well, Sega, usually when you're streaming or you're having, not dinner, he always calls it supper. He always calls it supper, not dinner. He's usually either eating Kentucky Fried Chicken or pizza. I prefer pizza over Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's got to be sausage. It's got to be pepperoni, guys. Fears is old and boring, so I like a classic traditional pizza, sausage and pepperoni. I know. I know some people like to get creative with it, like, hey, let's put pineapple on it. Fuck pineapple. You don't put pineapple on a friggin' pizza. End of discussion. All right. The next question is Matthew says, another question from Matthew. He says, what do you order from McDonald's? Ooh, that is a tough one. Well, if it's for breakfast, I always get a sausage biscuit, one sausage biscuit, one hash brown, orange juice. If it's for dinner or lunch, it's always chicken McNuggets, French fries, and Diet Coke, and an apple pie. All right. This next question is from Jelly Duck, and he says, why do you stream in public? That's a very good question. For two reasons. One, I love interacting with other people that see me streaming while I'm streaming out in public. And for two, one of my, I guess he's a fan, one of my psycho troll fans, he loves my videos, but then hates my videos. One time when I was streaming, while I was live streaming, he called my parents' house. And then that was from a psycho fan. And then another psycho fan, because it's pretty psycho to call someone's house, I think, he thought it'd be really funny and entertaining to say, hey, I know, I'll spend a couple of dollars, because he lives halfway across the world, and he thought it'd be really funny to start some drama and call my parents, because I do live with my parents right now until I can find my own place. So he thought that would be really funny. I didn't think it was funny. He just caused drama for my family. So that's pretty sick and twisted and very evil and psycho. So that's why I stream outside. So until I get my own place, that never happens again, because I don't want that to happen to my parents, because they have nothing to do with my YouTube channel, and I don't want people to bother them. So to answer your question, that's the reason why until I get my own place, I just do it outside. So let's continue on. This is another question from Matthew. Matthew, I appreciate all of the questions. Matthew, I know who Matthew is. He's a new member to the Fears YouTube community, and when he put together all these questions, since he's brand new, I let Matthew have a lot of the questions, because he's brand new to the channel, guys, and he wants to get to know Fears, and I said, I don't mind if you ask me a lot of questions, Matthew, so I appreciate all the wonderful questions. The next question is from Matthew, and he says, favorite retro TV shows? Oh, well, Knight Rider, Air Force, I'm sorry, not Air Force, Knight Rider, Airwolf, Knight Rider, Street Hawk, MacGyver, let's see, I'd say those 4 or 5 come to mind. There's more, but if I kept it up, this video will go on forever. So those are some of my favorites. This next question comes from Dustin Miller, and he says, working on the Superman World War feature film, what was it like to be behind the scenes and to film the making of the film and to film the behind the scenes? Oh my gosh, Dustin, it was phenomenal. I can honestly say that was my first big boy project in the film industry. I've done a couple of tiny projects, in film school here and there. We visited a news station, and we got to help, put together, some projects for the local news in Phoenix and stuff. So that was kind of a big boy project, but this was a major motion picture film, and it was the biggest set I was on, so to be on set was amazing. Then my buddy Don is the director. He gave me full access to everything, and I could interview people on set, I could film all the props, I could film all the costumes. It was amazing, but it was also overwhelming, because he put me in charge of, he's like, Fears, I want you to make the entire behind the scenes. I want you to make the entire making of. I want you to film, anything and everything, cast interviews, crew interviews, everything. We're going to put all this stuff on the DVD. Well, my work has never been put on a DVD, so I said, Fears, you cannot mess this up. You have to deliver. You have to. So I just went balls to the walls, guys, and I filmed anything and everything. I let Don pick out his favorite stuff. I picked out some favorite stuff, and it turned out amazing. So to answer your question, Dustin, it was fun. It was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't want to let my buddy Don down. It was fun. It was amazing. One of the best experiences of my life. And Don is thinking about doing a sequel, so let's just keep that on the down low, shall we? He's thinking about doing a sequel, and he said, Fears, if I do a sequel, not only are you going to be the behind-the-scenes guy again, and I was like, yes, but he's also going to give me a cameo in the film, which is pretty badass. All right, let's continue on. This is again Matthew, and he says, Fears, Apple or Android? Well, that's easy. Give me 1 second. Apple. Androids suck. All right. This next one is from Matthew again. I hope you guys are not getting sick of Matthew already. He says, Fears, favorite candy? Well, it depends, Matthew. My favorite chocolate candy is probably Butterfingers, and it's a split between Reese's Pieces, too. I'm sorry, not Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. That's my favorite chocolate candy. My favorite candy is, you know those little boxes full of nerds, and you open up the box and dump them out? I love those little box of nerds. So those are my favorite. Okay, let's continue on. This next question is from Charlie Clark, and he says, Fears, favorite Sega moment of 2017. If you guys haven't subscribed to my friend, the Sega Camp Gamer and Wear Camp on YouTube, you guys need to. He's funny, he's epic, he makes great content, and Charlie, to answer this question, I think the better question is what moment of Sega isn't great? So to answer that question, every moment of 2017 was my favorite moment of the Sega Camp Gamer. Oh yes. Matthew coming up with another question. He says, Fears, DC or Marvel? That's a no-brainer. Marvel all the way. DC can suck it. All right. This is the next question is from my good buddy Adam Pachidi. I hope I said your last name correct, buddy. He says, Fears, what is your worst habit? Whew. I got a couple. Number one, I have low patience, guys, and I have been trying to work on my patience. That's my weakness. Sometimes the trolls know how to push those buttons, and sometimes I lose my temper in my live streams, and sometimes I lose patience. So that's number one. Number two, whenever I get nervous, my ADD kicks in and I start talking a lot. Sometimes I have diarrhea of the mouth. I'd say my third habit is I don't know how to deal with pressure sometimes. Sometimes whenever there's a lot of pressure and, either things that are difficult in my life or people being difficult with me, it kind of builds up, and it feels kind of like everything, like the weight of the pressure, the weight of all the stuff bothering me is like on my shoulders, and it just keeps caving in, and I just kind of am like, leave me alone. So sometimes I don't deal with pressure that good, So I'd say those are my three worst. I've been trying to work on them. I really, really have. So I promise I'll get better at that. The next question is from Yakov. Oh, excuse me, not Yakov. Dr. Yakvo. He's a doctor. He likes to be called his professional name. He says, Fears, if you could interview any dead actor, who would it be? Oof. That is a hard question, because There are so many amazing actors that have passed, and I wish I could, there's tons of them, but I'll try and narrow it down to like 2 or 3. First one, right off the bat, he was a legend. Charlie Chaplin. I would love to interview him. Love to. I don't know what I'd ask him, but I would love to interview him. A second one would probably be, I love The Wizard of Oz, so I would love to interview Julie Garland. She was a great actress and a good singer. Oh man, this is so hard. The third one, I gotta be honest, guys. I love the Three Stooges. So, and a lot of I think all the Three Stooges are passed away. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost dead sure. So, I don't know who I'd pick from the Three Stooges. I love the Three Stooges. It wouldn't matter who I got to interview out of the Three Stooges, but I would either interview one of the Three Stooges, if not all of them. So, I hope that answers your question, Yakov. Or Yakro. This next question is from Dildarian. This is another hard question. He says, favorite type of music? I mean, I like all different types of music. I can tell you the music I don't like. I don't like rap, and I don't like country. But I'll tell you some of my favorite bands, because I love a little bit of everything except for rap and country. I like a little bit of heavy metal. I like a little bit of jazz. I like a little bit of rock and roll. I love a little bit of, soft rock, hard rock. So I'll just name off a little bit of the bands I like. I like the Beatles. I like the Beach Boys. I like Him. I like CKY. I like American Graffiti. I like Aerosmith. AC/DC, those are just some that I like. So yeah. Okay, this is an easy one. This is from Can Man, and he says, favorite YouTuber, hands down, the best YouTuber I think in my personal view is Casey Neistat. I love his videos. On the internet, it's 50-50. Some people like him, some people hate him. I think his videos are genius, and I've stolen a lot of stuff out of his videos, like the style that he does. I didn't even know what a time-lapse was until I watched Casey's video. I've stolen like certain angles and stuff that he puts, where to put the camera, and he kind of teaches you in a vlog, hey, this is how I shoot, so it works for me, why don't you put it in your videos? He likes high angles, he likes low angles, he likes putting the camera like way in a corner. So I've kind of used not everything in his vlogs, but I've picked and choose some of my favorite stuff. So he's a great YouTuber. I would love to meet him one day. I'd love to have him on the channel, sitting right here. I don't know what type of collab video we'd do, but I'd like to interview him, work with him, check out his studio in New York, something. Anyway, this next one is from Sebastian Holiday, and he says, Fears, can you talk a little bit about the next short film coming up? Sebastian, I've got 3. I would consider the cartoons that me and Randy make short films, but I've also got some other things in the works. I cannot wait to show you guys Fearsman cartoon episode called The Interview. That's number 2. So that's number 2 short episode. So that would be the first short film, I would think, that people are looking forward to. The second one is called The Cemetery. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm going to be filming it with me and one of my friends you guys have already met on the channel. They've been on the channel twice now. So it's called The Cemetery, and I'll just give you kind of a 10-second version. Basically, I'm going to play a ghost that doesn't know that it's a ghost. He can't leave the cemetery. He thinks he's there for the first time, just visiting somebody, but every time he tries to leave the cemetery, he can't leave, and he's trying to figure it out. But he doesn't know that he's a ghost. So that's all I'm going to say, guys, right now. But I think you guys will enjoy it. Me and my friend, we're going to film it pretty soon. And then the third one, I just haven't found the right actor to act with me in it. The third one is a drama called Looking for Love. I know the fans have been dying to see this short film, and I promise you guys, one day it will come. So that's all I'm going to say. But those three. Okay, we've got 2 questions left. The next one comes from Dustin Miller, and he says, Fears, what are some of your favorite collectibles? Well, I mean, just take a look. I have tons of collectibles. Some of my best pieces, though. I'll show you guys some of my best pieces. All of my Jason hockey masks. Some of these are replicas. Some of these are based on the real ones, but not the real ones. So they're as real of a replica as you can get to them. Some of these are signed. This one is signed by Kane Hodder, which Kane Hodder played Jason in 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's one of my prized possessions. That's one of my favorites. This one was signed by the guy that played Jason in Part 6. And then, I don't know if you guys can see it, but here there's a white mask behind here. Kane was at the Toyman Toy Show, and even though this is not his mask, this white mask is from Part 3. He was signing anything and everything that day. I forgot to bring these 2 masks because I wanted Kane to sign one of these. And even though it's not his mask, I think these look the coolest. And I thought, oh, I'll have Kane sign those. Forgot to bring it, so I bought a white hockey mask at the toy convention, and Kane signed that one. Let's see here. This is one of my favorite collectibles too, because my buddy at this horror show, he makes all these, and his thing is he takes everyday food items, and makes them gross. So I'll give you an example. He made a salad with like eyeballs in it, and the dressing was like poop, like diarrhea poop. And so he makes gross, disgusting horror props. And this one is just an example. It's popcorn with eyeballs in it. And I always use these whenever I'm doing a movie review or a movie trailer. I try and put it right here. So that's another one of my favorites. Recently I just got this one from my buddy that makes crazy horror props. It's instead of French fries, it's finger fries, as you can see. So I thought that one was pretty good. He actually gave that one to me for free because, oh, I'm sorry, not this one. I paid for this one. He gave me this one. I'm not going to grab that one because it's so far up. But this one is his newest gross prop. It's a Chinese, a food box, and inside, usually it's supposed to be Chinese food, but inside there's blood and there's an eyeball and there's ear, and he calls it the blood of some young guy. So I thought that was kind of funny that he used those words, and so that's one of my favorites. Those are I'd say this one, this one, this one, this one, and these 2 are my favorite horror props in my collection. The other props, I love this one. This one is, if you guys have seen, this is also a horror prop, but it's a different type of horror genre. This one's from Halloween. If you guys remember watching Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, when they put on that mask, and actually the mask is up there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It may have cut off from the camera, but I have the original, or not the original, it's a replica of the original Halloween 3 pumpkin mask. On the back of the pumpkin mask, there is a microchip. And when it activates, it burns the kids' faces off and basically kills them in Halloween 3. And that's one of the microchips. So yes, that's one of the real microchips. I found it on eBay. And the reason why I know it's real is somewhere in my closet there is an authenticity card. There's a scene at the end of the film where Dr. Chalice has a box of microchips, and he just throws it, and millions of microchips hit the floor. I'm being dead honest with you guys. That is one of the originals from the film, because it has an authenticity paper with it. It's in the closet. Now the chip on the mask up there, that one's fake, but this one is a real one from the film. So that's one of my favorites because it's an actual real prop from the film. A lot of these are replicas, but this one is my only real one. I intend to get more real ones whenever I have more money. Let's see what else. That's all I really have out right now. I mean, I have other props, but some of my better props are boxed away. But my other ones, I do love my power morpher. I do love the communicator. I've got some Star Trek stuff, phaser, tricorder. Oh, and I accidentally hit that. I'll get him later. Tricorder. So I thought that one was pretty good. And I recently just got this Captain Picard's, his family made wine. I think I paid it was far too pricey for a bottle. So really it's just a bottle I paid for, but I paid for the sticker that says Shadow of Picard, and you just glaze it over. So I really just paid for the stickers, and then they just ship you a random bottle. But it's the correct bottle that they used in the film. No wine in it. I wish it was filled with wine, because that would have been even better. But I thought it was a funny little prop. It's a replica, but I thought it would go good for the collection because I do love Star Trek. So, yeah, but it was way too overpriced. But yeah, that's just some to answer your question, Dustin. Fears intends on buying more to the collection, so I hope you guys enjoyed my collection so far. Alright, and the very last question comes from JJ Hobo, and he says, favorite fan art? Well, JJ Hobo, that's a real easy one. I technically have only gotten one piece of fan art. Somebody wrote me on my Tumblr and said, Fears, I love your videos, and I especially love your Fearsman cartoon. I hope you don't mind, but I made my own little cartoon version. And he kind of did this kind of quick kind of sketch. It was like he colored it in Photoshop, but it looks like he took like a pen or a marker and just kind of drew it real fast. Like the hair was all wavy, and it had yellow, around the face, and he put blonde highlights in the hair with brown, and it was all looked like he took like a marker and drew it real fast. And I thought it was awesome. I wrote him back, and he said, "Yep, I hope you liked it, Fears. This is my version of Fearsman." And I was like, "Dude, it's awesome." And so I made a copy of it, and I went to Walmart, had it printed off. It's in my closet with all my other collectibles that can't fit on this, because I'm running out of space. And I also took a picture of it and put it on my Facebook. So I would love more fan art. I would love more fan letters. I can't really do that right now, guys, because I don't have the means right now to open up a P.O. box. But one day, guys, I promise you, that P.O. box is coming, and you guys can send anything. Well, I shouldn't say anything because, like I said, I have good fans, and then I got some psycho fans. That's why I clarified. Within reason. I don't want to be opening a box and all of a sudden, there's a turd in there or whatever. So anyway, within reason. I personally would just love fan art and reading your guys' letters. But if you want to send me a package and have me review something, I would love to. But until I get a P.O. box, we can't do that. But eventually that P.O. box is coming, guys. And whenever I get the means to open up a P.O. box, you guys will be the first one to know. I will make a video. I will put it on this main channel. And it'll be good stuff. And I'll be able to answer more of your questions and read your letters and put the fan art on the wall. And it'll be good stuff. And well, that was pretty fun. And I appreciate all of the questions, guys. that was a good Q&A. If you guys want to do this again, think of some more questions. Put your new questions that you want me to do in the comments below. Tell me what you thought of the video. Whenever I do my live streams on Fears Vlogs, come up with some questions for the next Q&A. Write me on Twitter with some questions, and I'll write them all down. And if this video was a big success, we'll do it again. Anyway, I'm going to take my popcorn. I'm going to get on out of here. So, this is Fears, and that's the audience. And I'll see you later. That's really good.